And you're very welcome back to the second part of tonight's show. Just Dara here with you for this part, but I am not alone because the Under Center podcast is delighted to announce that we are going into partnership with Locker for the 2022 season. Locker is a new sports app you can get for your phone. It's all the sports news you need in one place. And on the show today to talk to us a little bit about the app and our partnership as well, we are delighted to have Matt Stearman, who's the co-founder of Locker. Matt, first of all, it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Derek. Good to be here.
No problem at all. We are delighted to have you on the show. We've been talking obviously a lot in the background for the last few weeks and months. It's delighted to have this over the line and finally announce that we are going into partnership for this season. First of all, before we get into some chat about the app, tell me, are you looking forward to the NFL season as much as we are?
Absolutely. As you can probably tell, the accent isn't as local, albeit living here now for 16 years, I think. I'm originally from the west coast of the States, but did most of my growing up in the Midwest in Wisconsin. So as a Green Bay Packer fan, I'm very excited to hopefully avenge what was turning into quite a habit of us falling short in the playoffs. But, every new year springs new hope. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. And just on that, with the changes we saw in Green Bay this offseason, most notably, of course, losing Devontae Adams, are your expectations still as high heading into this year with the team?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because usually I go in as a pessimist, even though I know we have a good team. But for whatever reason, I feel really good about this year. I think while Devontae is a huge loss, I think a lot of the young receivers will be better than expected. I think it will force more of a team element into it. So kind of diversifying the spread of the ball around, which I think will be good. The running game's strong. The offensive line is incredibly strong. And the defense is strong. But the weakest link we had last year, to be honest, was the special teams. So hopefully with new coaching there, if we can clean that up a bit and health maintains, we have as good of a chance as anybody this year.
Excellent. And I guess the burning question as well is, are we going to see Matt LaFleur go for 3 years in a row, getting 13 wins in the season?
I will say no, but it'll be close. I think they'll probably take a step back or two, but at the same time, I think he's still a really good coach. Does a really good job with what he has there, and it'll be competitive. But I think we'll still have a winning record. We'll get in the playoffs. Not sure about the 1 seed, but I'm again, health aside, as always, I'm very hopeful for a good season.
Excellent stuff. And look, at least then if one of our teams does well, because I don't expect much from the Seahawks, at least if one of us is happy at the end of the season, I guess that's all we can ask for. But look, we could stay and talk about football all day, and I know that's what we do normally here, but let's get down to the business of Locker. And tell us here, for people who haven't heard of the app just yet, what can they expect if they download the app?
Sure. So just briefly, the story Locker starts a little over a year ago with a founding team who are all based in Ireland here and come from an Irish background in sports media, working in over 2 decades. And we kind of approached the app from a frustration of a fan more so than from the business at first. I think we kind of looked around the landscape and went, geez, it's never been a better time to be a sports fan with the amount of content out there. But rather, it's kind of the user journey to navigate what you want as a fan, as well as trying to be able to discover more of what you wanted that we thought was very broken. A lot of these problems have been solved in other industries. Spotify done it for music, Deliveroo's done it for food and restaurants, but nobody's really been able to centralize that area in sports and allow for the personalization from a fan's perspective to put the power in the hands of them to navigate and curate what they want. So what you get from Locker is a free app. When you download it, you pick the teams, leagues, athletes, and more importantly, publishers and content creators that you like. And from there, we fill your lockers with stories you love from sources you trust. So if, as a Packer fan, I can have a curated experience from news and content related to my Packer interests from publishers and teams that I like and follow. Or you can follow it specifically from an athlete. If you're only interested, say, in Aaron Rodgers or DK Metcalf, I see over your shoulder there, you can be notified and follow kind of the athletes that you like as well. So it's really trying to put the fan first and allow them to have a better experience of finding what matters to them in a more personalized ecosystem within the application.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've noticed from having the app there myself. It is the customization options that you can choose. We did, like I mentioned, it does range across a wide variety of sports, but you can you can narrow down that as well. It doesn't have to be just the NFL. I can just have, like you mentioned, my stories just about my Seahawks, and if I just
Yeah.
want to see what they're writing, or like that with players, if it wants to be DK, or if I want to be like the jealous ex-girlfriend and find out stories about Russell Wilson over in Denver, I can do that too.
You can do it exactly. Yes, I know exactly for better or worse. But yeah, that's exactly it. And look, we're an agnostic platform. We're not a content creator. We work with media partnerships in the media and in multiple formats and try to deliver that world based on integrating those types of content in written audio and video and so forth. I think from an NFL fans perspective, though, it is quite interesting, particularly over here, as we've only launched in Ireland to find product market fit here. We've only been in the market for about 6 months now, I think, at this stage. And we already have 20% of all people who've installed the app follow the NFL as a sport. So we know there's an appetite for NFL over here in Ireland, as you know, I'm sure you do. Lord knows this is why you have your own followers who like the NFL here. But I don't know if they're being serviced by anybody within this market that delivers them that curated experience. So that's what we're trying to do. So not only do we work with local partnerships such as yourselves, but we have integrated partnerships and commitments from global leaders like Sporting News. And we most recently signed up the Players Tribune, which we're currently integrating right now, as well as Fansided. So there's different blogs, different premium content, different video and audio content that's looking for homes and looking for distribution. And that's what we're trying to provide for those partners. But then from a fan's perspective, they get a more integrated, curated, personalized experience for them.
Yeah, and that's it. And you mentioned on the articles and the video side of things, and like obviously this video side is their bread and butter, and that's what we're really looking forward to being a part of with
Mm-hmm.
the app to another to be used as another place for the show to be broadcast, and like that's it, to try and get as many people's eyes on the app, and well, look, being selfish on their side, on their on their show as well. But just one thing that you have done as well, especially, is this Club Hero Fund
Yeah.
that you're running now locally for sports clubs in Ireland, which is a fantastic move. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Sure. So, as part of it, trying to get the app into people's hands and connecting with sports fans, we kind of looked around and go, well, where are sports fans, living and playing? Where are they? And they're within the clubs, they're within the communities. So, and because we are sport agnostic in terms of you can follow your love of GAA as much as you can follow NFL, as much as you can follow cycling, hockey, or badminton, whatever your personalized sports world is. We're rolling out a competition called Club Hero, which gives any club at any level of sport in Ireland a chance to win €5,000 for their club. So one thing that we can all relate to is, every club needs cash and every sports fan needs it. And what they do with it is completely up to them. So how you enter is simply you just download the app, you enter in within the registration page, your club name. You only enter once, but as many people from your club can enter as possible to give you a chance to win. We're running that until the end of the month. And we've seen really good uptake. And like we've seen with most opportunities with people finding the app, once they get into the app, they actually really enjoy it and keep staying and keep sharing with their friends. So that's what we found very helpful in terms of helping us grow, but then also try to give back to those who are playing sport and following sport and are in the grassroots of sports as well.
Yeah, excellent. And it is a fantastic giveaway, and we really look forward to seeing who actually walks away with it. I'm going to have to get on to now to my Pirates teammates and try and get them now to download this app and get some money for the Pirates for sure. But I don't know if people are going to think maybe that's a little bit of favoritism, but we'll see.
but on that, and going back to the app itself, right now we're working primarily in the content creator side, but long term, we see this as a home for clubs locally, for the AFI itself, all the way down to the Pirates, and as much as Under the Center or any other publisher. So if you're producing premium sports content, we want to act as that distribution and marketing tool for you at all levels of sports. So hopefully when we get to that phase, not only can we potentially provide them with financial incentives with the competition, but also partnership opportunities in the future as well.
Yeah, and one big thing when it comes, especially on the NFL side of things, that people love is fantasy.
Yeah.
And fantasy football especially, and we've talked about it off air as well. Like, we both have our multiple leagues that we're involved in as well. And is there any sort of move there to get involved on this fantasy football side of things?
Yep, absolutely. Huge part of it. And again, the objective of, or the mission of Locker, I should say, is to build a personalized world that sports fans deserve. And when we talk about personalization, unlike Spotify, when we compare ourselves to that kind of business model, they're focused in audio, whereas a sports fan's experience is multi-formatted. You need to be able to read about it. You need to be able to follow scores. You need to be able to listen to podcasts. You need to be able to watch highlights, purchase subscriptions, play fantasy. We're potentially looking even in the NFT space with NFL All Day, in partnership with Dapper Labs, who we already have an integration with. So fantasy is very much on the radar. You can follow fantasy at the moment. However, we don't have, full disclosure, we don't have a huge amount of news and content being curated in that space. But because I think it's 75% of fans in America who follow the NFL also play fantasy, we got to recognize that that's part of it as well here in Ireland and in other countries. So we definitely want to be able to service that in the near future.
Yeah. Well, Matt, it's brilliant to hear about the app from yourself. And like I said, people can get it if you go to the Play Store, go to the App Store, you will get it. Just search Locker, you'll see it there. If you want an idea what you're looking for, if you look at the bottom left of the screen here, that is the icon you're looking for to download the app. Also, make sure you download the app because we are delighted to announce as well, because of this, with the start of our partnership with Locker, we are going to be doing an NFL jersey giveaway of your choice. What you need to do is you need to make sure you are following both ourselves and Locker on social media, whichever one, either Twitter or Instagram. Make
Instagram
sure
is good.
Instagram, make sure you also download the Locker app so that we know that you have, and make sure you send us a screenshot to show that you have downloaded the app, I should say, and you'll be
Mm-hmm.
entered in the competition to win an NFL jersey of your choice. The competition will end after week 1 is completed, so on Tuesday we will announce the winner. Matt, it's fantastic that you guys have been able to sort of help us out with this giveaway and help us out with this partnership, and we're really looking forward to seeing how things shape out over the season.
Yep, likewise. And hopefully, by having you within kind of the Locker family, we'll be able to connect your content with other known NFL fans who are already out there who might have like minded interests or want to discover new content out there. That's what we're all about. So, looking forward to it.
Excellent stuff. Once again, Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. Really appreciate it. We are really excited. Make sure you do download the Locker app right away to get all the latest sports news ahead of week 1 of the NFL season. Matt, enjoyed week 1 of the season as well, by the way, I should say.
Thank you. You as well.
Excellent. We are going to be back in a few minutes where I had the chance to speak to Aaron Schatz of Football Outsiders.